Hi, thanks for joining me. My name's Susan. I'm in the beautiful Dominican Republic where the Caribbean Sea meets the Atlantic Ocean. It's a pretty special spot right here, and I'm glad that you're here with me. We're going to do yoga today, and so I want you to have a chair for extra stability, a bottle of water, and you may want to have a pillow or a blanket nearby. So remember with yoga that we always do only what feels best to you. And there's a yogic concept, a yoga philosophy called, it left me right now. It's contentment. I believe the Sanskrit word for it is sausha, but I can't remember right now. But anyway, it's okay. But I know the concept is contentment. So this yoga practice will help you to feel content in your mind and your body. And that's what yoga is all about, is integrating our body, our mind, our soul, and into a feeling of more peace and contentment. And who doesn't need that these days? So join me. I hope that you will feel better at the end of the class. I'm almost guaranteed that you will. Things that we need to think about is our toes are spread wide, our legs are comfortably apart. I know maybe in the past you may have seen yoga where the feet are totally together, but we don't want that. We need to have space with our hips, and drawing the heart and chest up. Sometimes we have some neck issues or our head is a little bit forward, so we're going to work on that also. So we're going to work from the top to the bottom and the bottom to the top today. All right, with our first move, let's just very simply have the chin parallel to the floor, standing in a mountain pose, a strong mountain pose. And just gently, a little bit of fleas here, sand fleas, draw the head to one side. Gotta love nature. Holding the head here engages the vagus nerve, which is a nerve that helps to send happy hormones to your body. Come around to the other side. Holding the head here, just feel that deep stretch even into your shoulder, and come back to center. Now take the ear towards the shoulder and then come back upright. You know, sometimes people think, oh, yoga is so slow, and they don't have patience for it. But yoga is just so good for you. I used to have terrible back pain, and I didn't have yoga around in my life until I was in my late 30s. Let's draw the arm, if it's available, to come up and around the head. If it's not, you can just still continue that move. If it's available, to rest your head in your upper arm and your hand over your ear, and then maybe the other fingertips to the shoulder. Deep breath. So I used to have a lot of back pain, and then I started doing yoga and no more back pain. Yay. And then come back to center. We'll take the arm around for the other side and hand over the head. Hand over the head and maybe to the ear, and then come back to center. Let's take your hands out forward like stop sign hands, and we're gonna squeeze and open up fingers. Squeeze and open up fingers. Back and forth. And then let's rotate the palms up and draw fingertips to shoulders. And then arms out, thumbs up. Let's just do a little action of drawing the arms. Try to keep those upper arms level with the ground. And smile. Now, let's draw the legs wide, and drawing one arm down and the other arm is bent. And then back to center and over. So releasing one arm and keeping one arm bent, maybe thumb towards the shoulder. Good side stretches really help with our ability for the rib cage to take deep belly breaths. Stretching out the ribs and the hips here. All right, roll the shoulders. Starting to feel good all over, aren't you? We don't know why we hold tension in the neck and shoulder area, but we do. And then before we get any lower, let's clasp the fingers together and take the hands behind the head. So at the top part of your head, clasping your hands together. And now push your head into your hands. So your clasped hands. So you may have thought of this like the person taking the deep thought, going, and thinking. But you're pressing in and you're strengthening neck muscles. All right, releasing that. Very good. So let's bend the knees slightly. Open up arms. Exhale, bending the knees and inhaling up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Open again, inhale. Exhale, bend the knees and sweep down and open up. Hands to the heart. Open again, inhale. Bending the knees and sweeping down and opening up. And then coming down again and opening up. Reaching hands to the heart. Let's take a little sip of water here. I know it hasn't been long, but the sun is already beating on me. It's really important to stay hydrated. And you know, you hear that all the time, but one of the reasons is because perhaps certain medications you're on, or just life, maybe you live in a dry area of the country or the world, and your muscles when they get dehydrated, it's harder to move. So if they stay fluffy and moist, then they're able to move better. So I hope that helps explain why we need so much water. So let's see, from here, let's bend the legs and start to rotate the hips around. Now bend your knees a bit when you do this. One facet of balance is having that flexibility in the knees. So bending the knees, just slightly softening the knees, we call it. From here, let's roll a little bit, toe to heel. Back and forth. Taking ourselves over to the chair. Now, I'm only 4'10", so I have the chair on this side. You may feel better with it being at the higher level. Let's take hold of the chair and step the legs back, coming into a down dog, stretching the back. Allow the head to just be between the arms, and then we'll walk the feet forward. So coming into a sun salutation here, we'll sweep the arms out and up, exhale down, take hold of the chair, step back, allow the head to hang, not the head to hang, but the body to come into a down dog. Take the right foot forward, your back left foot, you're on your toes, bending the right knee and drawing forward. Now you can either keep the hands here or drawing the arms up. So now we're on the back toes here, if that's available to you. Hands come down and then step the leg back to down dog. We'll step the left foot forward. Now if it's not available for you to come up on the toes, you can have your foot back, but one thing to look for is don't be here and come up on your toes with your foot at an angle. If you're going to come up onto your toes, you need to have the foot angled towards the chair. So here we go with, if we're on the toes, and drawing up. Hands coming down. Let's step back to down dog, hinging back, and then walking the feet forward. Inhale up. A little bit of a lean back, hands to the heart. Open again, inhale. Exhale, hands to the chair and step back. Step the right foot forward, bend the knee. The right foot is on the ground, we're on the back toes. We're gonna pump the ankle back, the heel back and forth. Getting my body parts mixed up today. And then squeeze your inner thighs together, have a focal point, and coming up. Hands coming down, step back to down dog, step the left foot forward. You're on your right toes, or your right foot's all the way down at an angle. All right, step back to down dog again, and then walking your feet forward. Inhaling up, reach up, and hands to the heart. Open again, inhale, exhale down, step the legs back. This time we're going to step the left foot forward, your back right foot will angle, bend the left leg, and then coming up into our warrior two. Keep breathing. Maybe throw your coconut, reverse warrior. Heard a nice little pop in my shoulder there. And then hand to the chair, triangle pose. Hand on the hip, maybe the arm up. Keep breathing. We'll take the hand back down. Adjust the legs so you're on the back foot. Back to down dog. Back upright. Bending the right leg. I'm going to go ahead and turn myself away from the camera this time. Coming into our warrior two first. So the body's facing the long end of your mat. Thumbs up. Straighten the leg. And coming up. Into triangle. Rotate the hand back, back to the chair. Down dog. And then walking forward, bending the knees and inhaling up. Reach up and back, hands to the heart. Releasing, a little bit of a ragdoll in between transition pose. Maybe taking a sip of water again. Deep inhales and exhales. Rolling the shoulders. Roll them back the other way. And then let's take the hands to the hips and come into a balance pose. So preparing for a tree pose. We want to look down, make sure our feet are pointing straight forward. Shift the weight over to the right leg, and let's draw the left leg out to the side like we're pointing it out. That helps open the hip. You may want, I'm going to get closer, you may want to have your chair beside you. This time I do need it at the taller level. So foot out to the side, and then toes can stay on the ground. We call this kickstand pose. And that's totally great if that's where you're at. Your standing leg, let it bend a little bit and soften. Maybe taking the foot to the calf. And we'll draw the arm up or halfway. You may want to keep the hand on the chair. Make sure you establish a focal point. It's called a drishti. So there's a Sanskrit word for it, which that language was a long time ago. So they knew that we had to have focal points a long time ago. It's okay if you come out of it. Maybe take hand to the heart. And release. Shaking out the standing leg. All right, preparing for the other side. The left leg is going to root down. Right leg comes out. Sliding in. Instead of the hip out here, we want to draw it in and up. Heart and chest is lifted. Maybe put the foot on the calf. Make sure the standing leg is bent slightly. Keep your focal point. Hands to the heart. My beach sand I'm on isn't real stable. And then release. Shake it out. Now another balance pose that looks kind of easy, but it's not necessarily, is just to take the heels in front of the toes. So stand here with your legs slightly bent. squeeze the legs together. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. So I've just got toe to heel here, and I'm squeezing. This is strengthening the legs and creating that sense of balance. Deep breath, and then release. And then we'll take the other foot in front. So squeeze the legs before you let go of your chair, or maybe you're going to hold on to your chair the whole time. Keep breathing. So it seems like that would be easy to just have one foot in front of the other, but it's not necessarily. And then release. All right, very good. Okay, rolling the shoulders, reaching up and around, and let's go around the other way. Let's revisit our head, turning side to side very slowly. Taking the legs wide apart, sweeping the arms out and up, thumbs up. Let's exhale into goddess and hold it here. Now for the guys in the group, we call this horse pose. So imagine holding on to a horse. You'd hold the reins, but we've got those arms up. And then making yourself into that 5-pointed star. And then exhaling down again into our goddess pose. And up. And goddess. And one more time. And release. Very good. All right, let's make our way down to the ground. We're going to bend one leg and then the other. And then come to sit onto the mat, onto the ground. And we'll take the legs out in front of us. With your feet flexed and your hands alongside your body, heart and chest is lifted. So fingers are pointing forward, heart and chest is open. Now it's going to be like we're doing a seated tree pose. We're going to bend the leg and kiss this knee. Tell it it's a good leg and you're grateful for it. You're not judgmental of it. And take the foot alongside the leg. This foot stays flexed and we don't lose our balance. Sweep arms up and then exhale, hinge forward. Now, what I want you to do is to pause when you start to feel your back rounding. Don't let your back round. Keep your back straight and hinge forward. So you're hinging as far forward as you can from your hips. When your back starts to round, then just let the hands come alongside the body. You are still benefiting from this pose even if you're not face planting your head to your knee. This is called Janu Shirshasana, head to knee pose, but I always call it head toward knee pose. So the back stays straight because we don't want to put too much pressure on the vertebra in the back. Deep breath. Come back upright. Let's take this leg and the right foot's going to go over the left knee. And then we'll come into a twist, taking your hand right back behind you. Reaching up and let that arm push into your back. And then the hand to the knee. Take your gaze out over that right shoulder. Come on back to center and over for the other side for just a bit. Okay, now we'll cross, not cross yet. We're gonna hug this leg in, kiss the knee. We've got a lot of sand going on here. And then we're gonna take the foot to the thigh. Now sit up tall again. How soon we lose our good posture. And then the foot is flexed. This is my microphone pack here. Inhale up, reaching up, and exhale, hinge forward. Again, reaching as far as you're willing and able. If this knee starts to bend, that's another indication to back off a little bit. Keep breathing. Feel the stretch in your hamstring. Deep breath. Come back to center. And then let's take the leg, cross the knee over, the foot over the knee. And then we're going to take the right hand to the left thigh or knee or calf. Left arm comes up and rotate around so that now we've got our arm right by your spine. Take your gaze out over your left shoulder. Come back to center. This time both legs out, and let's kind of just shake them a little bit. Sweeping your arms up, and exhale, hinge from your hips. And again, we don't go any farther than when our back starts to round. Back off, keep the back straight. Feet are flexed, that helps the muscles in the legs to stay engaged. And breathe. Come back upright. And then we'll bend both legs, if it's comfortable for you, to come into a seated position. So we're going to do a seated meditation pose here. Let's take the thumb over the forefinger, releasing the hands, sitting tall. And we'll just be here for a few more moments. Softly closing the eyes, or if you want, looking at the beautiful view that you've got. When we have thumb over forefinger, it means universe over self or God over self. So knowing that we are not as important as God over us. We are a part of the scheme of things. As your mind wanders, take your awareness back to your breath. Think of the inhale and the exhale. And then releasing. So that's called a mantra when you have your hands in a certain gesture. We think of prayer position, prayer mode being a mantra also. So let's sweep the arms out and up. Big inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up again. Exhale down. One more time, big inhale up. And exhale down. We'll take one arm out to the side, the other arm over. And then releasing. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that you feel better from the tops of your head to the tips of your toes. And I hope you'll join me again for another time in the Dominican Republic for a beautiful yoga class. Thank you for joining me. God bless and namaste.